Welcome to week 7. We are in the home stretch and not a lot left to do. We're going to be talking about communication channels for digital communication and then talk about your follow-up for your interview as well as what is left for your final project. So if your mock interview has not happened yet, remember this is the week. It is due by April 27th. Do not forget to email your job posting, your resume, and your cover letter to your interviewer the day before you meet. Don't skip that step. It is part of the grade for your mock interview, and it also changes the quality of the conversation that you'll have with the person who is taking the time to interview you. So Chapter 5 really dives into digital communication, which would be email, instant messaging, texting, social media messaging, and how to choose the right channel for the right situation. And I know on the surface that can seem maybe unimportant, like you're just sending the message, doesn't really matter, but in a professional context, it can really make a difference in how you're perceived and also how the information that you're trying to get out gets disseminated into a team. So a lot of times the difference might just feel like formality and length, and those are true, but a text message feels a lot more temporary. You send it, someone reads it, it disappears into a thread, unless it gets screenshotted, right, because it was inappropriate. Whereas an email can feel a lot more like a record. And in a professional context, that distinction can really matter enormously. So every digital message that you send in Workplace is a document. It can be forwarded, archived, and pulled up in a room that you're not in. And that's not meant to make you paranoid, it's really to make you thoughtful. And of course, hopefully you're following some of those guidelines for even just personal communication in the digital age, but especially in a professional context, you want to be making really clear-headed choices that won't come back to harm you in the future if something's pulled up and it's not correct. So channel selection, it really is an underrated professional skill. Knowing whether to handle something through a DM or a formal email or in person, that judgment can shape how people perceive you before they're even finished reading what you wrote to them. So escalating a minor issue with a formal email when a quick message would have done, it's just going to give people a bad feel. Whereas handling something really sensitive over, say, like a Slack message is going to make people view you as careless. So the rule of thumb is that if it's more complex and sensitive and has bigger consequences, the more formal the channel you want to use. And when in doubt, you can ask yourself, am I comfortable with this message being read aloud in a meeting of my colleagues? And if the answer is no, you might want to reconsider either the channel or reconsider sending it at all. And another thing to note is that sometimes when, let's say, a phone call or a personal in-person talk is what is needed so the person can really see your tone and how you're speaking, a follow-up email still gives a significant weight of making sure that if something happened in the future where maybe they could say this never happened, you have something to show, no, this conversation happened, even if the email doesn't have everything in the conversation. All right, so what is due this week are 2 email templates that you're going to work on. One is a thank you note, and this would go out within 24 hours of your interview. And you are going to create templates that you can use for in the future as well. But the first thank you email, you are going to send that to the person who conducted your mock interview. And I want you to write the template before that happens, because often when you are post-interview, you can have a lot of nerves going. You might be thinking about what you said or what you didn't say. You can be feeling like a lot of feelings about the job you're maybe really hoping to get. So having a template already ready to go, you can plug in this particular details around the conversation you had a little easier. And so you're going to do that, and then you're also going to work on a check-in email, and this would be one that you would send after an interview if you had not heard after a week. And it should be short and confident and not apologetic, but what it is it's reiterating that interest you have in the job position, and can really go a long way in letting the people know who've interviewed you that you take initiative and you still have interest. Both of these are going to go in your week 8 final capstone portfolio project. And if there's any feedback you get this week on changes that need to be made to those, make sure you make those changes before you add them to your final project. So what we have due is just a quiz on chapter 5 that's open book. We'll have a discussion forum where we discuss with each other choosing the right channel for communication. And then you will upload your templates for your follow-up email and also a screenshot of the email that you did send to the person who gave your interview.